Okay, this video is going to be on factoring by grouping. You'll notice these look maybe a little bigger or a little longer than the ones we've done before. So we're going to look at the first one. We have this term minus this term. This term here consists of three factors, 2 times x plus 3. This one is a 5 times an x plus 3. Those are the two factors within that term. And if I see what do they have in common, they have the common factor of x plus 3. So I'm going to pull that out in front. And if I pull that out in front, or divide that out, I am left with 2x minus 5. And if you would multiply these out, just as if you would distribute these up here and combine, you would get the same thing. And this is factoring by grouping. When you see a common quantity within a term, you can pull that out. Now, we look at this one. If you see more than 2 or 3 terms, you might want to do factoring by grouping, but please don't forget about taking out GCF. The GCF of all 4 of these is a 3. And I'm left with x squared plus 2x minus 6x, and 3 goes into negative 36, negative 12 times. So I did my normal GCF and took it out. And to be honest, I actually kind of just forget about that 3 in front, and now I want to factor what's left. I want to work on factoring completely. And when there are 4 terms, one idea is to put 2 of them together at a time and see what you can do, see if that helps. So if I look at these first 2, something I can take out of both terms would be an x. And if I divide an x out of both of those, I would be left with an x plus 2. Now if I look here, you might go, oh, you can take a 6 out. But since that's negative, I'm going to take out a negative 6 from both. And when I do, I would end up getting a positive x and a positive 12. Excuse me, and a positive 2. A little sloppy there, because negative 6 goes into negative 6 one time, and negative 6 goes into negative 12 positive 2 times. Now I look and I see this guy and this guy have a common factor, and that common factor is x plus 2. So if I pull that out, what's left is x minus 6. But please don't forget, and this is something I do, to bring that original 3 down for the ride. Now that one was a little complicated because you had a GCF with it. But let's go to number 3. Again, this is a simpler one maybe. We have 4 terms, so I'll put 2 together if I think that there is something I can take out of them. So I'll look at these 2. And if I look at those, it looks like maybe I could take out a 3, factor out a 3 and an x. When I do that, I would get a 5x and a minus 6. Okay, now, your next 2 terms are here, and I'm going to be honest with you. You might go, I can't take anything out. Well, this looks awful similar to this. We want to take something out. If it looked the same, I would factor out a positive 1 and actually show that. But these are opposites of that, so I'm going to factor out a negative 1. And when I do, if I divide negative 1 into each of those, I get 5x minus 6. Now I look at this first term minus this other term, and what I see they have in common is the 5x minus 6. So I'll put that first, and then what's left is the 3x minus 1. And that is factoring by grouping.